This is BBC News. I'm Reeta Chakrabarti. The headlines at 5. An estimated 3.7 million people in the UK had coronavirus in the week up to New Year's Eve. That's the highest number since comparable figures began. But the government says it'll stick to its Plan B measures in England and not impose any further restrictions.
All of these measures are helping to take the edge off the Omicron wave, slow the spread of infection, manage the immediate pressures on our NHS, and buy time for the boosters to take effect.
The Prime Minister has also confirmed that pre-departure tests will be scrapped for travel from Friday morning. The self-isolation period for COVID tests in Scotland is to be cut from 10 days to 7 if people record 2 negative tests and have no symptoms. Restrictions on social distancing, large gatherings and table service in hospitality will remain unchanged until the 17th of January.
These changes are significant and they are not completely without risk. However, at this stage of the pandemic, they do strike an appropriate balance between the continued importance of self-isolation in breaking chains of transmission and reducing the disruption self-isolation causes in the economy.
Tennis star Novak Djokovic's entry into Australia on a vaccine exemption has been delayed due to issues with the visa submitted on his behalf.
This is a victory for Bristol, this is a victory for racial equality, and it's a victory for anyone who wants to be on the right side of history. Thank you.
And Black Lives Matter protesters who toppled a statue of slave trader Edward Colston have been found not guilty of causing criminal damage. Hello and welcome to BBC News. The Prime Minister has told MPs that he plans to stick to Plan B coronavirus measures in England for at least another 3 weeks. He said that people should carry on working from home, wearing face coverings on public transport and in indoor public spaces, and taking a test before going to high-risk venues or meeting the elderly or vulnerable. It comes despite figures from the Office for National Statistics showing an estimated 3.7 million people in the UK had COVID in the week ending December the 31st. That's the highest number since data collection began in autumn 2020. Today's latest COVID figures show the UK has reported a further 194,747 new cases. The Prime Minister also confirmed that from 4 a.m. on Friday, passengers travelling to England will no longer be required to take a pre-departure COVID test, and the requirement to self-isolate on arrival until receipt of a negative PCR test will be dropped. Rules on testing for coronavirus are also changing for people in England, Scotland and Wales, so that positive lateral flow test results no longer need to be confirmed by a PCR test if the person has no symptoms. And in Scotland, Nicola Sturgeon has announced that the isolation period will be cut to 7 days from 10 from midnight tonight. That's if people have negative lateral flow tests for the last 2 days and have no fever. More on that with our Scotland correspondent a little bit later, but first, let's go over to Westminster and to our political correspondent, Jonathan Blake. Jonathan.